Yo, what's up YouTube? GCJ here. For once, I'm recording a video while I'm not on stream. I did get number 14 in the global tournament here with Miner Poison. I'm not even a Miner Poison player, but Miner Poison is just broken. I use Gold Knight Miner Poison a lot, but we also used this Miner Wall Breakers variation as well. Got Anaban, Stream Snipe, Giant Graveyard, oops. But then we did have a mirror match here. So let's go over this one. It's gonna be replays, but I'm gonna give you guys like an in-depth breakdown of basically my thought process going throughout the match, you know, the best plays, but also yeah, basically trying to explain the best way that you guys can learn the most. Archer's play here for his wall breakers. He goes for archers himself. At this point I was gonna go for a miner onto his archer, I think, to also protect my archer at the same time. He goes for goblins, and we don't get any damage, unfortunately, but we did kill his archers, so that's good. Wall breakers left goblins here with displacement. If you go on the side of the tower, if they play in the front or the back, unless they play like far to the left, you can catch it no matter what. Goblins one of the best counters to the miner there. I go Mighty Miner Bridge right now just to try and like apply pressure, try and force out some elixir from him. And he does go for the berry tower and the wall breakers. And I go archers and the wall breakers here. Rather than log, I'd rather archers here, so I have a counter pushing unit for one more elixir. Definitely a good play. I go for miner and I pre-poison here. You do pre-poison nicely on the goblins, but the miner dies without getting hit. Probably should have placed the miner in the front, potentially. Go for log here. And at this point, I'm down a lot of elixir, so I kind of have to let this go. I decided to go for wall breakers here. He goes for log. And at this point, he's up damage quite a bit, actually. And this is not really what you want to see in a mirror matchup like this. So at this point, we're just both building up some elixir right here. I decided to go for a Mighty Miner in the back before going for the miner because I want to have like 3-card cycle. And then he goes for this berry tower. I think this was a huge mistake. Now I just kind of get a free poison tower, 4-for-4 trade on the berry tower, and we get damage. And that's what Miner Poison mirror matchups are all about. Like, I mean, who can get more damage? Who can get a little bit more chip damage here or there? It's basically a race to see who can take the tower first. We go for the miner. I go for a log. I did miss the wall breaker on the left, so I do have to go for this. He does catch my miner quite nicely with his mighty miner. But this is where we got the damage lead. Go for the mighty miner ability. We get that bomb on the tower, and that's quite a bit of damage, actually. Wall breaker's off lane to force out the miner, so I can go for a miner of my own here. Log to try and push everything back, and the wall breaker connected, and yeah, that was not great. I probably could have defended that a little bit better. Maybe you probably should have focused more on the defensive there. We get goblins down the wall breakers, and that does quite well. But at this point, we're down like 400 damage or more. I actually don't even remember how I came back here. This is pretty nuts. I guess miner. I go pre-log for goblins. We don't hit the goblins. He goes for mighty miner. We poison everything. We do have 3-card cycle active, so I should be able to get back to another miner pretty quick. There it is, already back in hand. Gotta watch out for the goblins, so I had to go berry tower here. It's a lot of elixir, but he goes for some really bad wall breakers here. I go for a log to make sure. And then I go mighty miner on the miner. But at this point, once again, we're still down like 400 damage here. He goes for some archers, not the best archers I've ever seen. I'll go for poison first. I have mighty miner down. This is really important. The mighty miner 3-card cycle is huge here. He goes for that. I go for goblins just to make sure. He goes for log. I go for my miner right here. I go for a pre-log. I do catch his miners, my archers here, which is 100% really important. I go for poison on everything. We're already back to miners, my 3-card cycle. Now we're in the damage lead. We go for the miner right now. He does not catch it. Or he catches it with wall breakers, actually. I go goblins. I catch his miner once again. We go berry tower over here. Berry tower clutches up. At this point, we're in poison range, and that was game over. Yeah, miner poison mirror matchups, those are always pretty weird. I actually almost lost that wall break right there. Got pretty close, but we just barely clutch up the W. I think the most important part of a mirror matchup like this is the 3-card cycle from the mighty miner to be able to spam those miner poisons. So I went into the next game. I played against Remy. We actually lost. This is a really good matchup for him. The Magic Archer Tornado is so good, and there's not really a good way to stop it. And then I go in another game. We play against a boss with another Miner Poison mirror matchup. I know it might be a little bit boring to watch another mirror matchup, but stay tuned, guys. We're going to play against Remy Eli in the next game. I was actually able to beat Remy Eli to clutch up to get top 14. But yeah, let's go archers and back right here for these wall breakers. And I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, we played this game a lot better than the one before. Somehow the wall breaker doesn't connect, which is really good. He goes for log, and I take this opportunity to kind of go ham on the right hand side. Force out the berry tower. And the mine in the back there is solid. We get a nice connection. Goblins kind of pushing here. I just log to get some chip damage. And we actually have a nice damage lead right now. This is definitely a mirror matchup you guys do want to learn if you guys do use miner wall breakers, because miner wall breakers is everywhere right now. Everyone's using it. It's just super OP. Miner poison in general is definitely like the main thing in this meta as well. He goes for archer split to deal with both sides. I go for miner on top of the archer, and then I go for wall breakers. Goes for log, and he goes for goblins. It did force him to use quite a bit of elixir on that defense, and look at my elixir bar. I'm definitely up quite a bit there. I do have to defend this mighty miner. I decided to go for a berry tower here, because this can basically kill that and stay alive for a little bit just to make sure so he can't go for wall breakers. Let's go for wall breakers. I go for mighty miner to try and catch this. I go goblins, and I go log. Really good log prediction by him. Made it so I had to use my own log. We're now even up in damage. I do have the mighty miner on the board. Okay, goes for archers here. I decided to use my ability late here to kill the archers completely. And then we're about even elixir and completely evened up in damage right now. Double elixir is coming in soon. I go for the minor wall breakers. I was going to pre-poison for goblins, but he played the goblins to the left, so then I didn't go for the pre-poison. And the berry tower is not enough to stop the miner, so we get a lot of chip damage in there. He goes for a miner. I try to catch on the side here. He goes for in the front, though. Probably should have predicted in front. Good pre-log that he did to try and get the goblins to connect. But we get the mighty miner down. I think using the mighty miner to defend the miner is really important in mirror matchups, because you can get your 3-card cycle going. I go pre-log here for the goblins, but he places the berry tower to counter the wall breakers. I think that's the one thing that kind of like really separated us in this match, is I was not using like my berry tower to counter his wall breakers. I was finding other ways to do it. I realized I didn't have, well, I should have realized I didn't have to log there because the berry tower had that on lock. And then he goes for another minor goblins here. I have to go archers and goblins. And yeah, we're actually down a lot of damage, but once again, I use my miner to defend his, like I use my mighty miner to defend his miner. And then I get my 3-card cycle going so I can spam minor poisons. We go minor poison here. He does catch my miner here. Wall breakers are not a threat. I go for log to get extra chip damage. I go archers and back. I go for goblins to catch the miner, and I go for my minor poison of my own. While my 3-card cycle is still activated, by the way. He has 3-card cycle activated as well with his mighty miner there on the right. I go for wall breakers, and I go for another miner here. And he goes for the berry tower, and this is where I start to get a lot of chip damage. As you can see, I'm in the damage lead now. I go pre-log in case he goes goblins onto this, and he goes in ham here. I go for miner on top of the miner. I go for the berry tower to make sure that those wall breakers connect. Once again, my 3-card cycle is active. We go for the poison first to get my miner in cycle. Kill the archer as well. We go for the miner right now. I use my ability right here to kill the goblins and to apply pressure. And the mighty miner actually gets distracted by my mighty. And at this point, we're already in like poison log range. I go for archer split. I get my poison down. I go for goblins to catch his miner. I go for log to push that back. Could have logged the right to like finish the game. That's not what you want to do. You just want to secure the victory first. Make sure you don't under defend. Go for the miner. Finish off the game. GG's. But yeah, I think the take home in that matchup like that is to always just make sure you're using your mighty miner on defense versus the miner. Then you can get the 3-card cycle going. So like I said, I did lose versus Remy here. But then I realized I could play Remy next. And I switched to the Golden Knight minor poison version to try and like have a better matchup versus them, because I have my tornado of my own to get my own like activation versus a miner, but also the tornado is really good at stopping the magic archer. Goes for wall breakers. I just go goblins one side, ice spirit the other, and I could go for a miner with my goblins here, but I just want to see what he do because I don't want to go miner because it gives a lot of Valkyrie value. So we go for the miner now after he logs the goblins. He goes for skeletons on the miner here. Not sure why I didn't go just Valkyrie there. And he goes for a magic archer. I immediately poison this magic archer. Just take it off the board and get a lot of damage on the left hand side as well. He goes for a miner. I just go for a gold knight. He places it in the back, so then we activate king. So already very happy with the king tower activation here. You look at my placement of the ice spirit here. Just make sure to try and like push those to the right a little bit. And I trust my king tower to take out that one wall breaker. I go for the miner while the gold knight is tanking here. And I don't want my tornado in cycle. I go for dash just for like the off chance that maybe we can get that gold knight to the tower. But it doesn't work out. He's got a Valkyrie kind of pushing right now. I think I just go Phoenix here just to make sure this Valk doesn't get a hit. And I have my tornado hovering. So I'm just waiting to see if he goes for Magic Archer, and I'll go for Tornado to stop it. He doesn't go for the Marcher though. He goes for Miner, and I go for Goblins on top, and he goes Wall Breakers Ops Lane to kite that back. Ice Spirit to counter the Wall Breakers. He doesn't go Magic Archer on that. He goes for Log. I actually get a Phoenix respawning here, which is pretty hype. He has to counter this with something. So I go for a Miner with this Phoenix. He goes for Buried Tower High, and he goes Skeletons on my Miner, but the Miner's getting quite a bit of chip damage here. I thought this was a really bad miner by him. It didn't really make a lot of sense. And we get some nice chip there. And we defend also versus miner quite well. At this point, I'm just kind of waiting for that to die and then to use my dash. Do dash and kill the wall breakers for 1 elixir, not bad. I go for pre-poison here just to hit anything, but also just because I want damage. Like, I didn't really have a good play there. I think I'm just going to take the 4 elixir deficit, get the damage in, and it's pretty solid that way. He goes and he decides to start like switching lanes here. I go for Gold Knight's dash, or like I go Gold Knight the bridge to try and get a dash, but he pressures Ops Lane really quickly, and because of that, I had to kind of like focus on the defense. At this point, he started applying some really good pressure, but so I decided to go Miner on top of the Magic Archer before it becomes too big of a threat. And I go for Ice Spirit late on the Magic Archer there. So, like I said, he's just applying a lot of pressure right now. He started switching lanes on me, and I kind of was on my heels at this point. I go for a nice Tornado on the Magic Archer. At this point, I'm starting to regain my composure a little bit, kind of regain that elixir lead. I do go for Miner Ice Spirit in the right, and I go for Dash on the left here. Dash is not defended, which is good for us. And once again, ready with the Tornado to stop that Magic Archer from getting too much damage. At this point, I go for Phoenix on the Valkyrie here. I go for Goblins onto this, and he pre-logs my Goblins though. I get the Buried Tower in kind of a panic there. I definitely wasn't playing very well. I was definitely a little bit nervous, especially going against the Remy, like best Miner wall breakers play in the world. We go for a Miner here. At this point, I decide to switch lanes actually. And I try to get a Gold Knight dash, but we actually failed fantastically. And he goes Magic Archer Bridge, but he gets so much damage. And then he goes for this massive Tornado, kills my Ice Spirit. And at this point, I thought I lost. Well, that's actually not true. I didn't think I lost. But at this point, I knew that I can't make any more mistakes. And I actually took a deep breath at this point. I was like, okay. I have a decent matchup. I have a big spell. He doesn't. I'm just going to play perfectly from here now. We're going to go same lane. I'm going to win this game. And we Tornado here, predicting his Tornado. Use the dash as well. This was a really good turning point for us. Now I go for Miner plus pre-poison with his Tornado out cycle. We play in the back. He does not catch. And he goes Magic Archer Bridge. And it was a huge fail on the Magic Archer there. So we're starting to come back a little bit. There's only 37 seconds left though, and it's in triple elixir. We go for a Miner here. I go Goblins. The Miner's really late. We go Gold Knight Bridge just to make sure to block this. And we Tornado this Magic Archer back, and I go for dash. We get a Gold Knight connection. But my tower's already down below 500. But his tower is starting to take a beating as well. I go Goblins here to just barely stop that wall breaker. The Phoenixes are going ham. I go Gold Knight Bridge. He Tornadoes it back. I go for Miner on the back of the tower with the Tornado out of cycle. We go for the Poison. He goes Wall Breakers, Miner to pressure. I Tornado. I missed the Miner to the Tornado, but the Miner Poison did finish it off. And that's what would secure me top 15 in the global tournament. I'm not a Miner Poison player, but it's definitely the meta this season. And E-Giant's kind of unplayable just because there's so many people using decks like this that counter E-Giant completely. Next game I did play against Remy again, but he beat me. He's just so good with his deck. Well played to Remy. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy, remember to use creator code JuicyJ. Make sure you guys like and sub. Help your boy out. We're almost 100,000 subs on YouTube. Every single one helps your boy out. Thank you very much. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Shout out to everyone who watched the video all the way through. It's one of the best ways you guys can help with the algorithm. That'll be it. Stay juicy. Peace.